Hi, I'm Eliza Schatzman. I am the president and co-founder of the Legal Accountability Project, an organization that seeks to ensure that as many law clerks as possible have positive clerkship experiences while extending support and resources to those who do not. I graduated from Williams College in Williamstown, Massachusetts in 2013 with a BA in political science and psychology, and I graduated from Washington University School of Law, or WashU, in St. Louis, Missouri in 2019 with a concentration in public interest law. At WashU, I got the prosecutor bug. I decided I wanted to be a homicide AUSA, so I did 4 different internships in the Justice Department before deciding to clerk in DC Superior Court during the 2019 to 2020 term, hoping to launch my career as a prosecutor.
My name is Matthew Goodman. I am co-founder and vice president of the Legal Accountability Project. I graduated from Dartmouth College in 2006 with a BA in anthropology and was Eliza's classmate at WashU, graduating in 2019 with a focus on constitutional law and criminal law. And I have a background in education, specifically judicial and adult education, where I worked before launching the project with Eliza.
So, Matt and I are launching a nonprofit called the Legal Accountability Project. Our goal is to ensure that as many law clerks as possible have positive clerkship experiences while extending support and resources to those who do not. I came to this work based on my personal experience with harassment and retaliation by a former DC Superior Court judge. I submitted a statement for the record for a House Judiciary hearing in March of 2022. In the weeks following my statement, Matt and I began to toss around some different ideas for how we could further this advocacy work, and eventually the Legal Accountability Project was born. So the Legal Accountability Project was my way of turning a terrible experience into something positive, in an effort to ensure that future generations of law clerks and judiciary employees don't go through what I went through during my clerkship and in the years following it. I think a couple things make us unique. The first is that there are no nonprofit organizations in this space working on these issues full time. Matt and I both quit our jobs a few months ago to get this organization up and running. This is our baby. This is what we do 24/7. This is what I shoot out of bed at 5 a.m. on the weekends to work on. And we are committed to seeing this through. The other thing is that there are not many organizations in this space where the co-founders are advocating based on their personal experience. So I think it's important to be out there sharing my personal story, putting my face and my name to this, as a way to kind of humanize an abstract issue for stakeholders, for congressional leaders, for judiciary leadership. I feel like my story is one of empowerment. I hope that after hearing my story, other former clerks will feel empowered to speak out, file complaints, work to remove more abusers from positions of power in the judiciary and other industries. And so over the next few months, I am going to be out there with Matt as our organization gets up and running, sharing my story, going to a variety of forums, going to law school campuses to speak with students, and I hope raise awareness of this important issue. So the Legal Accountability Project is working on a variety of initiatives. We'll be partnering with law schools beginning in fall 2022. Some of our initial projects include a clerkships database where former clerks can report on their clerkship experience, either positive or negative, as a way to kind of warn prospective clerks about judges with a history of misconduct. It's going to be a centralized database where every law student at every law school will be able to create an account, log in, and read reports about judges with a history of misconduct. I think it's a good way to democratize information, to prevent what we see is a silo effect where some law schools are able to warn students about judges with a history of misconduct, but that does nothing to protect the law students at neighboring institutions who might unwittingly walk into hostile work environments. The other major initiative that we are working on is a workplace culture assessment that we intend to send to the past 10 years worth of law clerk alumni at various institutions in fall of 2022. The federal judiciary has been notoriously unwilling to conduct a wide-scale workplace culture assessment. We hope to kind of pick up the slack for the federal judiciary and elucidate some data on the type of clerks facing mistreatment and the types of resources that are offered to them in their courthouses. We're excited to collect and analyze this data from a variety of law schools and then report that data to the ABA, to the federal judiciary, to lawmakers. As I think that the first step toward crafting effective solutions is really quantifying the scope of the problem. And the third thing we are very excited to do is we are going to be on lots of law school campuses in the fall, hosting fall programming about judicial misconduct and harassment in the judiciary. I'll be sharing my personal story, answering questions from students, and we hope to kind of empower the next generation of law students to really take charge of the profession, to assert themselves, to say, we need a healthier profession, and we understand that harassment in the judiciary leads to a less diverse profession.
And diversity in the judiciary is a really important issue that impacts everyone, not just people in the legal profession, but everyday citizens. The Legal Accountability Project will be tackling diversity issues in the judiciary in two different ways. The first is to get a more diverse pool of applicants into clerkships because today's clerks are tomorrow's judges. It's important that as many clerks from as many different backgrounds get the opportunity to advance in their careers and then get those positions, hopefully on the bench in the future. The second way we're going to be addressing diversity issues is through our efforts to combat harassment, because the people who tend to be harassed are often people who are vulnerable, who don't fit the predominant demographic groups already within the judiciary, and driving those people from the profession leads to a less diverse judiciary in the future. So through those two different efforts, we're going to be addressing diversity, equity, and inclusion in the courts, both for today and for tomorrow.
And we really feel like less diverse law clerk populations lead to less diverse bar associations, which ultimately leads not only to a less diverse bench, but we also think about it as today's law clerks are tomorrow's U.S. attorneys, federal defenders, big law partners, and as we said, judges. We have a less diverse profession because of harassment in the judiciary, and we intend to tackle that head on. So we are hoping to partner with as many law schools as possible beginning in fall 2022 on our initiatives. If you are a law school administrator or dean, a professor, a law student, or a law clerk, and you are interested in learning more about us or bringing us to your campus in the fall or participating in our initiatives, you can learn more at www.legalaccountabilityproject.org. You can reach out to me directly at aliza.schatzman@legalaccountabilityproject.org. I'm also on LinkedIn, or you can find me on Twitter at Aliza Schatzman. And please reach out. We hope that you will learn more about our resources, that you will donate to us, that you will sign up for more information. And we're looking forward to visiting lots of law school campuses in fall 2022.